What's good, everybody? It's your boy Maurice, sports historian, back again with another video. It's been a while since I sat in front of this setup. I don't know if you can still tell, but I'm a little sick, and I've been a little sick for like 2 weeks now. I should probably go to the doctor, but whatever, we ain't worried about that. But yeah, we about 10, 11, 12, 13 games into the season, whatever you want to call it. For the sake of simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say we about 10 games into the season, and I wanted to get my thoughts on some things that I've noticed, some happenings, and just overall gauge where I think I'm at, for this NBA season, because think about this NBA season, bro. That shit get to going, and then pretty soon it's going to be All-Star break. Pretty soon after that, it's going to be, damn, we start the playoffs, we just started the season, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get this video out there to kind of bookmark where we are in the NBA season, as well as give my thoughts on, some current shit that's happening. I'm gonna start off with the MVP ladder. I think the first iteration that I saw, it was like Jokic was number 1, Embiid was number 2, Shea was up there, Tatum was up there. I know the first iteration I didn't see Steph Curry up there, which was definitely a snub. I don't know where I'd place him at this point. I'm recording this on Thursday, and he didn't play in the game that who did they just play? I don't remember who. The Timberwolves. I believe he didn't play against the Timberwolves on Tuesday, and I think they have a game against OKC. I'm not sure if he's going to suit up for that. So that's an injury that we got to take note of now. We got a few injuries. We could talk about Bradley Beal, who was supposed to make his not Suns debut, but the Big Three was supposed to make their on-court debut, and then at the last minute, Bradley Beal got ruled out because of back spasms. So yeah, injuries suck, but they're part of the game. We knew something was gonna happen, so hopefully everybody get healthy. What I wanted to talk about, though, a few things. The West is still in chaos, which I guess I predicted, but not in this way. There are a lot of surprising teams. I'm going to go ahead and name them. The Mavs look great so far. Luka and Kyrie have worked pretty well together. Although Kyrie started off a little slow, during the first few games of the season, they've picked it up. Luka's been great. I say that he had like a 12-point game the other day. Shot terribly from the field. Had like 6 turnovers in the first quarter. But other than that, Luka's been great. I think Luka was maybe the last name on that MVP track. But yeah, the Mavs have looked great. I like some of the additions that they have. Derek Lively, he's looked very, very competent as, a rookie center, which is a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of rookie centers that's coming in and being as impactful as he is. So shout out to Derek Lively for that. The Wolves have looked great. They've had the best defense in the league so far. And again, I'm recording this on Thursday. They just got their ass beat by the Suns without Bradley Beal. But hey, every dog had a day. I'm just assuming that was a bad game. But they've looked elite defensively, top to bottom. I wish Cat could get going offensively, even though I think he had a pretty good game last game. But, just to start the season off, Karl-Anthony Towns has not looked great, which is an area of concern for me if I'm a Timberwolf, because Karl-Anthony Towns, he's supposed to produce on offense, and he hasn't necessarily been doing that. But again, we only about 10-11 games into the season, so I'm still withholding a bunch of judgments from a bunch of players. Like Dame is one of them. Dame struggled to start the season off. Trae Young has struggled heavily to start the season off. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous how bad Trae Young has been, at least shooting the ball. I also want to talk about the Rockets. The Rockets have looked supremely competent, and that's credit that I'm giving to Ime Udoka. I told y'all that Ime Udoka was going to raise hell with these young cats, and it's looking like they raising hell. They no longer are an easy team that, you play and you whoop their ass and they go back home, just with a loss. You know what I'm saying? These games are now being more competitive. Jalen Green, he's taking the progression with his efficiency, stuff like that. A few more teams I want to talk about in the West before we go ahead and move on to the East. The Lakers have been up and down. The Lakers, listen, you're not going to hear much from me about the Lakers because I already don't like talking about the Lakers as much as I do. But all I'm going to say is I think they're going to look for another third star, and if they do that, all I'm going to say is, bro, bravo. This has to be one of the stupidest front offices in the league. And also, at the same time, one of the most lucky. But That's literally all I'm gonna say about the Lakers. I don't want to talk about them. Another team I really don't want to talk about, but we're going to the Suns. Injury. I'm pretty sure KD has missed maybe a game or two. I know Devin Booker's missed a few games. He was back in the lineup yesterday against the Timberwolves. Spanked that ass, by the way. And Bradley Beal has played like 3 games up to the season, and they're like the 7 seed or something like that. So hopefully we get to see them healthy, because I think that this is a good team, a good playoff team, but like not a good playoff team, a good regular season team. Excuse me. But yeah. We can't judge them until they on the court, and they haven't been on the court. So, especially with back injuries. Back injuries, they real finicky. You don't want to play with those. Bradley Beal, he suited up for like 3 games, and then, you know what I'm saying, back issues flared up again. You can't really fuck with those. Ben Simmons is a name that had back issues. Michael Porter Jr. also had back issues. Back issues are no fun. You don't really want to deal with those. Moving on to the East. The East, I think, is a little bit more drama-filled than the West, only because a lot of people expected it to just be a 2-team race off the bat. I am one of them, between the Celtics and the Bucks. The Celtics have held up their end of the bargain. Tatum's looked great. Porzingis has fit in very, very nicely with this team. Drew Holiday is contributing his role. They got guys like Sam Hauser coming off the bench, sparking shit. Derek White is doing his job. They got a lot of guys coming off the bench, giving, you know, good minutes for this team. Dare I say that the Celtics are the deepest team in the league? Hey, they might be. But yeah, the Bucks have not held up their end of the bargain. Whether it be Dame struggling to start off the season, which we've seen from him previous, so that's not too much of a concern for me. But what is concerning is the lack of defense on this Bucks team. Now, obviously, we knew that missing Drew Holiday was going to put a hole in this team defensively, you know, as far as their perimeter defense goes. I was under the assumption that guys like Malik Beasley, Pat Connaughton, Jay Crowder would be able to step up and, you know, kind of fill that hole together. Jay Crowder was playing pretty damn decent, and then he like tore something in his groin, so he's going to be out. Malik Beasley, he had like a 30-point game against whoever they just played yesterday. But besides that, it ain't really been looking too good. He's been a 3-and-D player without the 3 or the D. And Pat Connaughton hasn't been good either. So a few things that this Bucks team wants to try to shore up pretty soon. They also want to get Dame and Giannis going at the same time, which they haven't really seemed to do. It's either been, you know, Dame going off or Giannis going off. You want to see both your previous 30-point per game scorers return to form and, you know, play off of each other like that. And then I got a few miscellaneous topics that I want to go over. James Harden is a home wrecker. The Los Angeles Clippers are 0-5. Repeat, 0-5 since James Harden joined this team. And the Clippers look like a really, really good team prior to that Harden trade. And Harden came in, fucked up all the chemistry. I'm saying that as a joke, but like a little bit of a joke because, bro, it's crazy that as soon as he joins, this team goes on a losing streak. A 5-game losing streak at that. Not just like a 1 or 2 game slide. They lost 5 straight with the introduction of James Harden. That does not bode well for the rest of the season. That does not bode well for the Clippers team next year. I suspect that damn near everybody's going to have a new home. And yeah, I'm going to pray for this Clippers team because, nah, it ain't it. Bam Adebayo has started off the season very, very well. Y'all told me Sabonis was better than Bam Adebayo, and I was never on that train. I say this, and Sabonis had a monster night versus AD, but then so did Bam Adebayo. I'm not rolling with the Sabonis is better than Bam Adebayo, even though I guess it was kind of a toss-up between the two, but Bam's been better for longer, and he's just overall better in my opinion. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Just wanted to give a little shout out to Bam Adebayo because he's been hooping his ass off, and I noticed who are some other guys that's been hooping. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he been hooping his ass off too, and I've paid attention to Thunder games. This team, maybe not like towards the top of the conference, but they should be a playoff team this year. Just looking at their starting 5, you know what I'm saying? They got a guy in Chet who's, in my opinion, he's leading the Rookie of the Year race. They got a guy in Shea who's in the top echelon of the MVP tracker. Probably will fall out sooner or later. But like he's there to start the season off, so that's pretty damn good. They got guys like J-Dub, Jalen Williams off the bench as well. Giddey started off not hot, but like he's still a part of this team's current core. So I got to give props to him because this team, they look well oiled, and they look like a miniature version of what a bunch of people were projecting them to be coming into this season. Again, I don't think it's all gonna happen this season. Maybe next season, maybe the season after that is when I start to expect to see this team put together, more strings of wins. But to start the season off, they've been great, projecting them to be like a 6-ish seed, 6, maybe even 5, potentially 4, depending on how how hot they get during a certain portion of the season. But I do like what I'm seeing from this Thunder team. Who else do I want to talk about? Oh, Tyrese Maxey is a fucking dog, and he's having his coming out party this season. I think he's averaging like 27 on the season. He put up a 50 ball the other day, which is like wild as fuck considering that just last season he was the third option behind Harden, and now we see Harden get shipped off, and all of a sudden Maxey's playing out of his fucking mind. So hey, it looked like they got their 2 franchise guys in Embiid and in Maxey. I've liked the duo of Embiid and Maxey. They played very, very well together. They took a game off the Celtics. They just lost to the Celtics yesterday, but this bodes very well for them. There's even rumblings of potentially them adding a Zach LaVine or somebody. There's just been rumblings of that. Me personally, I see the writing on the wall that this Bulls team, they're going to blow it up. I wouldn't mind seeing Zach LaVine on a contending team like the Sixers, just because I still have my reservations about Zach LaVine. Unfortunate that it didn't work out in Chicago like we would have hoped, like he would have hoped. But hey, new beginnings means new opportunities, means a new start, means you create your legacy somewhere else. So hopefully wherever Zach LaVine does end up going, I can see him be successful. And if that motherfucker were to win a championship ring, I'd have the biggest like I told you so moment, because bro, the talent is there, and this is not turning into a Zach LaVine video. That will actually be one of my next videos. He'll be a topic in one of my next videos, so stay tuned for that. Anything else that I want to talk? Oh, the Rookie of the Year race. Chet is absolutely leading the Rookie of the Year race. Wemby following behind him. I think that it's going to get closer between those two as the season progresses. I think that Chet having a hotter start was probably something that most people would have suspected, just because Chet has had not necessarily NBA burn, but he's been around, like he's been in practice with NBA players. You know what I'm saying? He's been in meetings with NBA players, stuff like that, for an entire year before he played up until his rookie season. And that has an effect on players. That has an effect on players in this league. And so I'm not shocked that where Chet has, started off his career. Definitely am shocked that he's shooting like 50% from 3 on the season, which again, like 10 games in, but still, that's a pretty decent sample size for your shooting not to fall off. So hopefully he can continue that. Shooting at a 40% clip, definitely not 50%. I don't see that sustaining for the season, but hey, you never fucking know. And then to finish off this video, I also want to talk about some other rookies. You got these 2 twins, these 2 6'7" prototypes, wings that can do it all. They can defend, they can pass. The scoring isn't there yet, but that's not even their role right now. And even still, they're contributing to scoring at a decent enough clip to where it's like, all right, well, you got to respect this guy as a 12-point per game scorer, 11-point per game scorer, and stuff like that. Who are some other rookies that I wanted to? Oh, I should shout out to Derek Lively. Shout out to Derek Lively for sure. He's been hooping. Jordan Hawkins, somebody that I didn't expect to be as good as he has been for the Pelicans thus far, but he has been pretty good. He has that 31-point game, and he's just provided solid minutes. Brandon Miller has also been pretty damn good. Jaime Jaquez, you're seeing him get like major fourth quarter minutes, which probably isn't the most surprising, seeing as the Heat like to do that with their rookies and shit like that. I don't know what it is. The Heat is just their player development. It always seems so rapid and they're always able to get pretty good minutes out of their young guys, the undrafted guys, their rookies, stuff like that. But yeah, that was the video. If you guys like, please leave a like. Comment on some of the most surprising things that you've seen during this NBA season, and make sure you turn on post notifications so that you get notified every time I post a video. This has been your boy Maurice, the sports historian, and I'm out.